Let's find it. Let's react to it live.
Boom!
I see it. I see it.
Paizo announces.
Put it into the chat.
Yes.
Boom. I just put it into the chat. It is a blog. It says Paizo announces system neutral open RPG license. For the last several weeks, as rumors of Wizards of the Coast's new version of the open game license began circulating among publishers and on social media, gamers across the world have been asking what Paizo plans to do in light of concerns regarding Wizards of the Coast's rumored plan to deauthorize the existing OGL 1.0A. We have been awaiting further information, hoping the Wizards would realize that for more than 20 years, the OGL has been a mutually beneficial license which should not and cannot be revoked. While we continue to await an answer from Wizards, we strongly feel that Paizo can no longer delay making our feelings about the importance of open gaming a part of the public discussion. We believe that any interpretation that the OGL 1.0 or 1.0A were intended to be revocable or able to be deauthorized is incorrect, and with good reason. We were there. Paizo owner Lisa Stevens and Paizo president Jim Butler were leaders on the Dungeons & Dragons team at Wizards at the time. Brian Lewis, co-founder of Azora Law, the intellectual property law firm Paizo uses, was the attorney at Wizards who came up with the legal framework for the OGL itself. Paizo has also worked very closely on OGL-related issues with Ryan Dempsey, the visionary who conceived the OGL in the first place. Paizo does not believe that the OGL 1.0A can be deauthorized ever. While we are prepared to argue that point in a court of law if need be, we don't want to have to do that. And we know that many of our fellow publishers are not in a position to do so. We have no interest whatsoever in Wizards' new OGL. Instead, we have a plan that we believe will irrevocably and unquestionably keep alive the spirit of the open gaming license. I like that irrevocably in there, Eric. As Paizo has evolved, the parts of the OGL that we ourselves value have changed. When we needed to quickly bring up Pathfinder First Edition to continue publishing our popular monthly adventures back in 2008 using Wizards language was important and expeditious. But in our non-RPG products, including our Pathfinder Tales novels, the adventure card game, others, we shifted our focus away from D&D tropes to lean harder into ideas from our own writers. By the time we went to work on Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Wizards of the Coast open game content was significantly less important to us, and so our designers and developers wrote the new edition from scratch without using Wizards' copyrighted expressions of any game mechanics. That's true, like all new text. While we still published it under the OGL, the reason was no longer to allow Paizo to use Wizards expressions, but to allow other companies to use our expressions. We believe, as we always have, that open gaming makes games better, improves profitability for all involved, and enriches the community of gamers who participate in this amazing hobby. And so, we invite gamers from around the world to join us as we begin the next great chapter of open gaming with the release of a new, open, perpetual, and, in italics, irrevocable Open RPG Creative License, ORC. The new Open RPG Creative License will be built system agnostic for independent game publishers under the legal guidance of Azora Law, intellectual property law firm that represents Paizo and several other game publishers. Paizo will pay for this legal work. We invite game publishers worldwide to join us in support of this system-agnostic license that allows all games to provide their own unique open rules reference documents that open up their individual game systems to the world. To join the effort and provide feedback on the drafts of this license, please sign up by using this form. In addition to Paizo, Kobold Press, Chaosium, Green Ronin, Legendary Games, Rogue Genius Games, and a growing list of publishers have already agreed to participate in the Open RPG Creative License. And in the coming days, we hope and expect to add substantially to this group. The ORC will not be owned by Paizo, nor will it be owned by any company who makes money publishing RPGs. Azora Law's ownership of the process and stewardship should provide a safe harbor against any company being bought, sold, or changing management in the future and attempting to rescind rights or nullify sections of the license. Ultimately, we plan to find a nonprofit with a history of open source values to own this license, such as the Linux Foundation. Of course, Paizo plans to continue publishing Pathfinder and Starfinder, even as we move away from the open game license. Since months worth of products are still at the printer, you'll see the familiar OGL 1.0A in the back of our products for a while yet. While the Open RPG Creative License is being finalized, we'll be printing Pathfinder and Starfinder products without any license, and we'll add the finished license to those products when the new license is complete. We hope that you will continue to support Paizo and other game publishers in this difficult time for the entire hobby. You can do your part by supporting the many companies that have provided content under the OGL. Support Pathfinder and Starfinder by visiting your local game store, subscribing to Pathfinder and Starfinder, taking advantage of discount code OpenGaming during checkout for 25% off your purchase of the core rulebook, Core Rulebook Pop Edition, or Pathfinder Beginner Box. Support Cobalt Press, Green Ronin, Legendary Games, Roll for Combat, Rogue Genius Games, and other publishers working to preserve a prosperous future for open gaming that is both perpetual and irrevocable. We'll be there at your side. You can count on us not to go back on our word. Forever. Paizo Inc. And that forever is a separate paragraph. I think Paizo has put its money where its mouth is as a company just ever since even before when Pathfinder First Edition started. That is the announcement. That is huge.
It is huge. It's literally I was saying for a while that I know people worried about the fight. I know people worried about going to court. I knew Paizo, and we said it just even yesterday and the day before, they were going to fight. They are not laying down. They have the money. They have the power. They have the money. They have a lot of money if they need to. Lisa is very, very, very wealthy. And I know where this is coming from. And let me tell you, they are not taking this, and they are going to fight this big time. And more importantly, this ORC license, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but
we're going to get a voice in it. We're going to make sure it's
good. We'll get part. And then if we can start publishing under ORC, and that would be great. And then Wizards won't be able to do it. They can do whatever the heck they want. It's like, all right, well, we're not even using OGL anymore. So
this
is
huge.
Yeah. I know this was supposed to go out if Wizards did their announcement, but obviously they didn't. So we stayed on long enough that let everyone
eventually,
know.
The Charlie Brown football has to.
They can't wait forever. Point. Yep.
And that's why Paizo did it, I guess. Tankar's Tavern pointed out in our chat that technically some of this was speculatable, and I speculated it too. I just don't report my speculation. I only report
I speculated it.
Things.
Yeah.
I speculated too, for which Tankar Tavern mentioned, because Brian Lewis, when he sent that email we talked about yesterday on Ryan Nancy, it happened to have a link to Paizo.com. So that speculated that Paizo might be behind Brian Lewis, but I just didn't mention it at all in our videos because I feel like I don't want to mention my speculation if it might or might not be true. I only mention things if we have multiple sources, if we have reliable sources that we can count on.
It doesn't even matter. Like, I don't know what ORC is. I trust Paizo. I'm a partner with Paizo. One of their official podcasts of Paizo. Like, I'm a little biased here. Most of our friends work at Paizo. Your partner works at Paizo.
Yep.
It's like we're very biased,
true.
But at the same time, I know these people, and if they're gonna fight, they're gonna fight to the end. They are like, they're like a cornered rabid dog. They're very nice, but if you corner them, they're gonna. I
might not call Paizo rabid.
Rabbit. Sorry, I meant a cornered dog. I meant cornered dog. But yes, what I meant. You and I'm getting at. Like, they're very nice, but if they need to, they're gonna fight. And I would not want to get into a fight with them. I would actually be more scared of a fight with Paizo than Hasbro.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But because Paizo has these overlapping circles of groups, and like Paizo has Paizo is not just Paizo upper management, who as obvious from this statement are strongly on board, right? There's the Paizo workers who are unionized. I was in that union before. I talked about it in the past when I was in that union before I worked for you, Stephen. I left from there, and the Paizo workers are just like, I have huge respect for all my friends there. They have so much integrity. Like, it's beyond, like, it's a lot of integrity and a lot of like teamwork and working together, right? Like, a lot of places that have unions would have formed a union that was like, well, we're a union of the people doing the game design, but we're separate than, like, say, the warehouse or the the staff that does tech. Paizo, everyone's together in the union because everyone at Paizo cares about all the other workers, and they don't just want their own bottom line to go up. They want it to be better for everyone, which means a lot. Then beyond Paizo workers, there's Paizo freelancers who had so much integrity to what they stood for that they like made an entire movement on behalf of Paizo workers. Like, you're right, Stephen. Everyone associated with Paizo has just I have a lot of trust towards Paizo in regards to this statement. They've shown their what they are made of in these kind of situations back in the original GSL days when people thought, I'm going to admit it, I thought that Pathfinder might not be able to get big after they weren't on the GSL and they were just sort of a separate thing. I bought Pathfinder because I thought it was awesome, but I was surprised that it did so well that ICV2 had it overtaking 4E when 4E was on the down and they hadn't been producing more for a while. So this is who Paizo is. If you don't know Paizo, this is classic Paizo, as June Solar said in a super chat. Absolutely. Captain Relic, the Brass Dragon, said Paizo W. That we're getting a bunch of super chats in support. Creative Burst says Panic at Wizards increases. Squealer Killer says your move, Hasbro. Take your turn. Let's see what else we have here. Boot 2 Head says the age of men is over. The time of orc has come.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I texted that to my friends at Paizo, by the way. That's how much I like that.
They're going to like it. Don M said, do not mistake pacifism for weakness, Watsy. Check your move. Tiger Eye says, where can support a legal fund for Paizo? Let me know if they need it. All caps with exclamation mark. Well, it said that Paizo's statement, part of it was that they are putting up the legal funds. You can join in and help out, and they said in the statement they're gonna take care of that. So that is
a friend of mine from Paizo wrote, orcs, they've needed a redemption arc for a long time.
Yeah,